Well, obviously, I think masterminds are fantastic, and I think everyone should both be in one and run them. But as with podcasts, you need to have a strategy before you start. You can't just rush into, well, rather, I say you can't just. Many people do, and that's why there are many bad masterminds out there. But in essence, a mastermind is a small group of people who meet regularly, set goals one time which will be done by the next time you meet. The secret to good masterminding is really careful curation. I think bad masterminds come from a cash grab. Oh, apparently I could make 10 grand a month per person on this. Wouldn't it be great? I know 10 people. I could start a mastermind. No, you can't. Or rather, you could, but please don't. What you need is a theme, a plan, a strategy. What are you bringing people together for? For you could bring people at different levels. You could bring people who wanted to start a podcast. You could put a mastermind together that is, they've learned the basics, maybe in a course, and now you're supporting them in their first year. Or you could put together a mastermind of people who they've got 200,000 listens now. So it's now time for them to level up, or how to get sponsorship. So make sure that there is a really clear plan. Like, what is the outcome? Make sure you can achieve it. If they do the work, you can provide the container for them to get there. So be very selective about who goes into the group. Be very selective about what the group does. And obviously, I think you should get some training in how to run a mastermind. That's just a plug for my own stuff, but I do think it's important. You need to know how to manage a group, because a mastermind isn't just about facilitation. Your friend that has that sounds marvelous mastermind, people stay in it because it works, because they're getting a great result, because the quality of the other people in the group are so high that it is worth them taking 2 or 3 weekends out of their year to go and do that. So you've got to be making something that is really high quality. It's like back in the days where it was like, just sell things by webinars. But the webinar doesn't mean anything. It's just a delivery system for it. So build a structure, just like with a podcast. What is the outcome? What are we helping people do? How are we getting there? Those things make it really possible. And then when you've got your group together, I've spoken to probably thousands of people about masterminds now. And I always ask people, tell me about a bad mastermind. And they always say, yeah, I was in this one and I knew that guy was going to be problems. I had a feeling about that person. And when we're putting a group together, we just want to get it started. And we tend to ignore that moment where we think, that person, maybe they're not a good fit. No, I'll just start it. You put them in there. 6 months later, you realize that your intuition was right. There was something that wasn't a good fit there. So listen to that.
I want to ask you a question, because my mom came to me after she retired from corporate America. She was excited and she wanted to start something new. And what I remember her doing is joining a couple of masterminds. And a day came and happened, and I just said, hey, I can't come to someone's birthday. I don't remember, but there was like a birthday party or some type of gathering. Like, I won't be there because I've got this mastermind that I go to 3 times a year, and I've been doing it for something like 6 or 7 years in a row. And she had this bad taste in her mouth, and she came to me with a question as kind as she could, but with the bad taste in her mouth from these other experiences. And she goes, do you even like a mastermind? Yeah, I might be misquoting, but it's like, do you even like a mastermind? Why would you do a mastermind? Are they all just there trying to sell you into the one-on-one coaching? And like, she goes, I want to start a real mastermind, like a good one. But I just don't know if they exist. Why do you keep spending lots of money every year to go to this one group? And I thought about it. I go, you know what? Our mastermind is the end result. He doesn't try to sell you on the one-on-one coaching. The mastermind group is the top thing. And what I've found Liz, is that a lot of the people, and when I'm talking a lot, I mean like 70% of the people that I encounter that start a mastermind, they're not really starting a mastermind. They're starting something else. They're starting a group coaching program, which is that they're the leader and they teach lots of people at the same time, but they call it a mastermind. Or they have a mastermind that's really only meant for a stepping stone to get to the highest ticket thing. And it has put bad taste in my mom's mouth and others. And I just got lucky. I got lucky because the mastermind that I joined was one that I have stayed in for years, and I haven't wanted to do, there was no other thing. I haven't wanted to go to another person. I haven't wanted to pay more for something else. And he's the guy who runs it. It's not trying to sell something else. So I guess what I'm asking is, do you think that I have a good definition of mastermind as part of it? And if the listener's listening and they're thinking about starting something, like, where would their pitfall be if they started it wrong?
Where do we start with this? So first of all, that story of your mother hating masterminds because she had a bad taste from lots of others, so common. And the problem is that mastermind is an unregulated word. It would be different if I was in charge of the world, but sadly I am not. One day I will create, so that I've been planning this for years. One day I will create BOOM, the Federation of Mastermind Excellence, that will stamp out all bad masterminds very simply. Till that happens, and to be fair, some of the reason I'd like to do that is because I wish to be president of the Federation. But that's a personal goal more than anything. Till then, you're right. There are many bad masterminds. And I think the problem is the things that are bad usually aren't actually masterminds. As you say, they're a training program or a group program or a networking setup or just a nice weekend where you get to hang out with other business owners. They're not actually a mastermind. A mastermind has to have that element of that coaching environment where you get to ask the questions that don't feel safe in other spaces.